My name's Geary Johnson of En Ville Event Design and Catering, and this is Michelle and Summer. Today we're going to talk about multicultural weddings. 25 years ago, it was not particularly common to see two cultures coming together, and the industry was predominantly waspy people getting married. The first wedding that I did that was multicultural, and it seemed strange at the time and unusual, but it worked out absolutely beautiful, was an Inuit lady marrying an Israeli gentleman. That was a stunning combination, particularly with the guests. In Toronto, the weddings, people, first generation have had children. The children have gone to high school together. They've come from every country in the world, speak every language, every religious denomination. And now we're seeing the product of those schools falling in love and getting married. And that really represents I think the strength of Canada, the strength of Toronto. And it's for me, I see it now regularly, many cultures getting married and bringing their families together. And we don't, I feel, tolerate one another's cultures here, we embrace them. And that really gives a tremendous amount of strength to who we are and what we are in this city and in Canada. Now, one of the, we've done many, and I remember a Chinese and a Greek wedding, fantastic foods. It's often very difficult you'll get people come to see us and say, well, we want fusion of Greek and Chinese. Many foods do not lend themselves to be infusible. So it's often a good idea to have one dish of one culture and one dish of another, but you must have cultural sensitivity to both of the cultures. One of the most amusing mixed cultural weddings I've ever done was about 20 years ago, and it was a Northern Irish Catholic groom and Iranian Muslim bride. And they came to see me, and they were so in love. It was almost palpable, and they were on their own. And I think there was political issues within their family about them joining. And we sat in this very office and discussed the wedding and the foods and what have you. Then I asked them if they had an officiant, and they said no. I said, well, we can suggest one or two, and we can get a Unitarian or an Anglican or non-denominational where you can write your own vows and what have you. And I said, there's even, jokingly, I said, there's even a traveling rabbi that comes out of Winnipeg and spends the summer in Toronto. They looked at each other, smiled, and said, we'll have the rabbi. The wedding was phenomenal. You had one side not touching a drink, and the other side were really enjoying a drink. And at the end of the evening, the unity between the two cultures was absolutely phenomenal to see. And that, again, that's Canada. We've had a Chinese bride marrying a Syrian groom, and he rode, it was an outside wedding, he rode a horse to the wedding, got off of the horse, then the groomsman picked him up, sat him in a chair, and picked the chair up and presented him to the bride. And I remember that the food there was absolutely fantastic. So we have within our culinary ranks many people from many cultures. En Ville is a real slice of Toronto, so we're able to produce authentic foods for many cultures. And cultures that we don't have Indigenous people with us, we bring some in if necessary. We also work hand in glove with a Chinese caterer called Grand Catering. They're absolutely fantastic, and they help us a lot in some of the Chinese cuisine. So Michelle and Summer are out in the field constantly and are going to speak now about your experiences with cultural weddings.
Well, for me, one of the things I find very, very important is that when the clients come to us, and they come to us perhaps just speaking to us for the first time on the phone, and they walk into the front office, our front office has such a diverse culture representation there that I've actually had clients comment, well, wow, I guess we can have any food here. And I said, well, absolutely you can. We've got Chinese, we've got Indian, we've got Swiss, we've got Trinidadian, we've got Maltese, for goodness sakes, right there.
What about the English?
We've got English.
We don't really count.
So we have such a diverse, multicultural staff, but not just in front of the house. That also carries over into the back of the house as well. I think if you put all of our staff together, we could probably design a menu with at least 24 different nationalities included in there.
Easy.
And not have to
easy.
repeat anyone twice. So that is very important that these clients, when they come to us, they see this, they recognize this, and it gives them that peace of mind, it gives them that warm, fuzzy feeling. They think, okay, I think this is where I want to be, this is the folks I want to work with, and it's that comfort feeling that transfers onto them by just having a look at the diversity here in the office.
Definitely. And I think as a guest at some of those weddings, I think is where my perspective has been completely changed. I mean, it's an absolute 100% intertwining of cultures, and it gives the guests this amazing surprise, shock value. When they walk in, they see, the colors, the smells, the taste. It's a real sensory experience when you have these cultures coming together. And I think what En Ville has is this amazing opportunity and joy in the evolution of not only weddings, but I think in the evolution of Canada as a whole. Because we're such an accepting nation, and because we're such an accepting culture, especially here in Toronto, it's just a real pleasure to be a part of something like that.
And I would say that is one of the things that I feel elevates us above some of the other caterers out there, is that comfort value we give to the client, knowing that we could certainly provide you with anything you want across the board.
Comfort's such an important aspect of a wedding, and having confidence. I often say to wedding parties that come for a tasting that I really believe our food is the best food in the world, but essentially all of the food of all of the caterers in Toronto is very, very, very good. I think we have the edge, but they're all very, very good. The most important aspect of a wedding is for the couple and always the bride's mother to be very confident with whoever they're dealing with, because it's a long journey, and it gets sometimes a little difficult, the journey, so you need to have utter confidence in the people that you're dealing with, and that gives you comfort, and then you can enjoy it as a bride or groom or bride's mother, enjoy that journey.
Definitely, for sure.
I would agree.
So please remember to like and share our video below, and as always, eat, drink, and get married.